Hello, Cherie Hanson here. I felt called upon today to talk about uh, failure to perceive. And what I mean by that is if you go into somebody who works in a perfume soap shop, you'll ask them about, how do you work in this environment? And they say, well, we go nose blind. And what that means is we're exposed to it so much that we no longer perceive it. There are so many things in life that are like that. One of the things that I've noticed is when your mother shows up when you're 20, you suddenly see the chaos in your house, and you suddenly see that there's a pile of laundry. You suddenly feel that where you're living and how you're living is not going to pass inspection. But most of the time, what we do is we become inured to what is going on around us. So when some of the people I'm coaching will be cruelty blind, they don't understand that when somebody's putting them down or speaking to them disrespectfully or sneering at them or not stopping, making full eye contact and listening in a mindful, compassionate manner, that this is cruelty blindness. And we're used to it. If we're used to it, we don't perceive it. I had a thought cross my mind today, and as usual, I find my mind very entertaining. It's like one TikTok after another. I was thinking about how every single object I own, every object, I'm in a relationship with it. I have to stop and I have to ask the question, does this need to be cleaned? Does it need to be repaired? Does it need to be washed? Does it need to be touched up? Does it need to be moved? And so what I call this, it's the fact that clutter and many objects around you is literally sucking your battery dry, because you're making all these decisions based on the clutter that is around you. Your eyes will hang up on an object and they can't flow around a room. It stops you. And they've had experiments where they see this, where a room is very cluttered, people can't sweep. Well, what happens to us when we can't sweep our environment is because we are wired to be, not always the predator, sometimes the prey. It's important for us to be able to see clearly. It makes us feel safer. It makes us feel calmer. So I was thinking about how you solve the blindness, the numbness, the lack of perception. Things like this pair of shoes is rubbing a blister on my heel every time I wear it for the last 6 months. You know what I'm talking about? You probably never do that, right? But when we get to a place where we're really paying attention to what we're hearing, seeing, smelling, and feeling, what we will naturally and normally do is we will adjust the environment to be more loving and being more protective of us. But if we're in this state of not knowing, not seeing, not realizing, then we feel helpless. I'm helpless. I'm helpless about the way the trunk of my car looks. I lift up the latch on the back of my car and I go, you know, now would be a good time to clean this mess up. So where I'm getting with Wim Hof breath and with meditation is I'm coming to understand much more clearly what my needs are. What makes me feel safer, calmer, more cared for, not in an irritated or triggered state. And I also was thinking, I'm just like, oh my God, my mind. What if you had a relationship counseling for every object you owned? So you pick up the one shoe that you've had in the closet for the last 5 years. You don't know where the other shoe is. I mean, you kind of halfway looked for it. I mean, one day you had a little extra time, a little extra energy, so you dug through all the shoes in the closet and you go like, well, I can't find the other shoe. So what you do is you walk away holding on to the one shoe. So let's say a counselor comes in and sits you down in one chair and the shoe in the other chair and asks you, can you tell me what your relationship is with this one shoe and why you still have it after 5 years? And I just started laughing. I go like, oh yeah, I can remember when I bought that. I was really excited. I thought I was going to wear it to a dance. It was a happy moment. I want to hold on to that. And then as you're talking and listening to yourself, you can hear how stupid it is. One shoe is not going to take you closer to joy. If you really need to keep the memory of that one shoe, take a photograph and throw the shoe out. So these are the ways that we deny ourselves the very things that we need. We go blind, we go deaf, we don't smell it, it doesn't bother me, I'm not irritated. Oh, let me distract myself. I'll distract myself. I'll do this other thing instead. And and for me, oh my goodness, I used to just love to get a bag of ginger snap cookies because anything I didn't want to face or deal with, just eat a bag of ginger snap cookies and that'll fix it all. So staying in the moment is the secret. Hey, it's the secret for everything. You take a deep breath in and you ask the question, where am I? Where am I right now? And you'll check in on your mind and you'll see that you're scuttling along through the ruins of the past, of the abandoned city, of various failed relationships, of challenges you either met or didn't meet, or you find yourself frolicking in the silent movie festival of how glorious your life is going to be any moment now. And the thing we're missing out on is being now. If you're really deeply planted in the now, you will notice when you pick up something. What did I see today? My laundry. Oh, the washcloth was coming unraveled. When I'm blind, will just fold it and put it in the pile. And then if somebody uses it, they're going to have all the string strangling their wrist. And I'm really practicing now, being now. So as I pick something up in my hands, I ask myself the question, why do I have this? Why do I keep this? What am I getting out of my relationship with this tattered washcloth or one shoe, or the dress that fits somebody who's 30 pounds heavier. It's not my dress anymore. What am I getting out of it? And that's when you start to really dig down deeply and ask the question. And it always comes to the issue of self-esteem. I remember when I wore those shoes and I would go dancing and I would dance with different men and the music was great, so I'm holding on to those shoes. Maybe I'll ask them to bury one of them with me. Maybe I can get that washcloth thrown in my coffin before they close the lid. So always, always, always ask yourself questions. Be the wise teacher to yourself. And when you're deeply embedded in the now, you can observe what the hell you're doing. And you can ask yourself, why? Why are you doing this? And it will almost always come back to some kind of issue of self-esteem. Always. It's fascinating. So anyway, that's where my mind went today. I appreciate you frolicking along with me through the storylands that I live in and my thoughts. Also, I want to say thank you so much. If you're watching this, please do subscribe. It helps move me up and it helps the things I'm teaching to people to get out into the world a little further to help people. Because the one thing I want is for other people to get there faster than I did. Oh, Lord! You know, I want you to get there while you're 40 or 50 instead of 80. Get there right now. Get that dealt with. Heal it. Move on. Get into the now. And Wim Hof breath has just been miraculous for me. I was so excited today when I saw that there is a new video with 7 rounds. Yay! And why do I want to do that? Because I feel good when I'm doing it. It makes me feel present. It brings me alive. I can smell what's going on around me. I can hear what's going on around me. I can feel the clothing on my body. I come alive. I go down deep into the now. And that's what breath work gives to me. Do get a hold of me if you want a channeled reading, a psychic reading. I can coach you because of the untold hundreds of hours I've learned about mindfulness, about taking care of the body, about healthy aging, about finding a way to be in love with who you are right now. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.